Hari Om and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. This is Yamuna Devi. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of concern with children, with adolescents, in regards to schooling, in regards to their mental and emotional health. Mental and emotional health is real, it's silent, cannot be seen, and sometimes there's no expression of it, but the child, the adolescent, is holding all the emotions and carrying that burden within because they feel uncomfortable sharing, because there is a lack of communication with the parents. And that is why it's so important to have that bond, that space to connect and say, hey, how are you feeling today? How was your day? To stop, to pause, to be with them, to move away from that hustle and bustle, that rushing of being productive, of the competition, and focus more on their mental and emotional states, which is really important. I see it often. And when we do Ayurveda, in an Ayurveda consultation, the focus is not only about solving the priority health concern. Important thing is also their mental and emotional states of children. And this happens a lot, unconsciously there's stress being built within them. They don't even know what to do with it. They don't know why they worry. The other day I had a 12-year-old tell me that she told me just spontaneously, very sweet. And she says, I worry about many things. And I said, tell me about it. She says, well, I worry about my family. I worry about my sisters. I worry about my friends. When I see them stressed out, that they haven't done a project, that they need to do some homework, some schoolwork, and they need to get it done, I worry about them. And I told her, and this is really important because these are empaths that are trying to make everyone feel better and jeopardizing themselves, their own health, their mental, emotional health. And they're carrying that load of worry. And I told her that everyone has their own karma, their own life journey. And everyone knows exactly what to do. And everyone knows that there's a consequence if they don't give themselves that opportunity to take the time to do whatever project they need to complete, book they need to read, anything. Preparations for a test. So there are consequences and everyone is responsible for their consequence. I told her, before you help others, it is important to fill your own cup, to take care of you. And worrying about others is not helping them. It's depleting their energy and depleting your energy source. So she was listening carefully. So beautiful. And I taught her Brahmari Pranayama, which is the humming bee breath. You plug the ears, you breathe in deeply, and you make the sound of a humming bee. We did it together. I'll show you. You breathe in. You do that sound while you're plugging both ears. And I told her, do it 3 times. I told her along with her mother to do together, because mother is also stressed. So because mother is stressed, the children reflect that. And if the children are stressed, the mother will reflect that, and it becomes vice versa. So that is why it is so important for the parents to be self-regulated. What does that mean? for the parents to be in a calm, peaceful space so that the children can receive and absorb that peace as well. But if the mom is stressed and frazzled, the child will be nervous as well and fearful. And that's what I saw. And I told the mother, you can practice as well. While the daughter was practicing, the mother was also practicing. The mother said, I feel much better. Because she's worried about the stress of life, that there's no pause, that it's just going, going, going. And I told her that life continues, but you are always welcome to pause within life, and you can maintain your stability within the chaos, and that you practice slowly, mindfully. You take your time by observing, by awareness. And after she practiced Brahmari Pranayama, she felt completely better. She felt her mind slow down and her daughter's mind completely calm. So in that calm space, I was able to communicate better thoughts. So she could understand, because when the person is stressed and nervous and fearful and worried and frazzled, you cannot transmit information to that person because their mind is not in the present moment. Their mind is distracted. And then there was another young girl worried about college and stressed about college. And I understand that process is very stressful, you know, going into a new school, you don't know how it's going to be. And she was stressed about 3 things. And I told her, tell me, what are you stressed about? Apart from the things that we're working on. I saw it in her face. I said, tell me, apart from the things that you're worried about, what is it? Give me some examples. She says, well, I'm worried if I don't like my college when I get in. What if I don't like it? The second one was, what if I don't do well? What if I don't do well in school? And the third one was, what if I don't do well alone, being away from parents? And I told her, let us do a role play together. I'm going to be your friend, and you're going to give me advice. So I did the role play with her. She gave me amazing advice. I said to her, I'm a little worried about this new school. I'm not sure if it's the best choice. I don't know if I'm going to do well, if I'm going to like it. And what if I feel alone? And she was very supportive as a friend. And after we did the role play, I said to her, did you see? And she said, yes. I said, what is there to worry about? When you were telling me what to do in a good way. Beautiful. Children are amazing. Children are amazing. We just have to sit and listen to them. They're so powerful and so creative. After that, I told her that when we think about the future, we invite fear because it's the unknown. We don't know what will happen. It's uncertain. We're just imagining, but it hasn't even happened. So we're not here in the present moment. And that brings fear. And we carry that weight of worry along with the fear, along with the anxiety that it brings. So it's 3 components to that. And also overwhelm, right? Because a lot of questions are coming up. So I told her to be in the present moment, to trust. The mind is like a wild horse. I also gave her this example. The mind is like a wild horse. What if you're riding a carriage with 5 horses, and the horses were wild, one running towards the left, another one towards the right, running different places, right? Will you get to your destination with more effort? Will it take longer? She says, yes, it's going to take longer because they're all over the place. But what if your horses were in line and moving at a steady pace? Would they reach the destination with ease, with time? She said yes. And I told her the mind was like those horses. It's not about controlling. It's about managing the mind, managing the thought. And when you manage the thoughts, you're more effective in your thoughts, your thinking process, your mental, emotional states. And you get to where you want to go with ease. There's no strain. It's the path of less effort because you're not forcing it, you're just flowing. But when the mind is distracted like those wild horses running everywhere, it will take longer to get there. It will take more effort and it will be more difficult. So she understood. And when I told her about managing her thoughts, I also told her to observe, to witness the thoughts. When she has those negative thoughts that are overwhelming, that are creating that fear, that are creating that anxiety, and for her to worry, to observe it and to transform it into a positive thought. That negative thought, she's catching it, but transform it into a positive thought. Beautiful. This is how to retrain the mind, retrain the emotion. And she was listening carefully. I told her, there are other things that we're managing with you, but the mental emotional aspect is very important. That's why we are taking the time to talk about this. It's the overall well-being. It's not just one. And sometimes I feel that we miss that. And parents, to regulate themselves, to take time for their self-care is really important. And this is what's going to help the student, what's going to help their child. If they feel well, they will reflect that, and their child will feel well. Their child will feel calm, ease, relaxed. And in the background, I could hear the mom saying, "Why are you stressed? There's nothing to stress about." But yes, if you were to talk to the child, you were to hear them, there are worries within them. So that is why educating the child is really important. Communicating with the child is really important. Taking time out of your schedule to connect with them is really important. And when we connect with them, we're not connecting as a parent-child. We're connecting at their level to understand what's going on. And we're just listening to them. Just listen to them. You will hear something really important that perhaps you missed out on. You will learn something from them. Connect with them. One way you can connect with them is by repeating the things they say. So if they tell you, "I'm worried about starting a new college, I'm worried about starting a new school," you repeat, "I see that you're worried about starting a new college." Or if they say, I see that you're worried about starting a new school." And then give an example of you. Think about your experience of starting a new school, starting college. And give them something to practice, how to ease their worry. A suggestion, a personal advice. So An example is, I know you're worried about starting school, a new school. And I remember when I used to worry about starting a new school, and I would do this to help myself out of that worry, out of that stress. I tell them, I see that you're worried, but take it like a game, take it like a sport. Enjoy the process. I remember when I would stress out about taking exams in college, but I would find the joy in studying. And through that joy, my mind would relax. I would feel calm, and I would be able to receive information easily and understand easily what was being taught. Also, the breathing exercises are wonderful. So take time, listen to the children. The children are the seeds of the future. They need a lot of love, a lot of support. It's not only about school. It's about helping them to connect with what they're feeling as well, and helping them overcome difficulties through the process of growth. Adolescence is really difficult. Growing up as a child is really difficult too. They have their stages of life. So understanding them at their level is key. Take time, love them, give time to play and have fun with them. They're really fun to be around. And listen, praise them. You know, they say that for every one negative thing you say to a child, we need 5 praises. And this could be the same for adults, for your husband, your wife, your sister, friend. If you say one negative thing, it has to be followed by 5 praises. 2 negative things, 10 praises. I love how wonderful you are folding the clothes, an example. I love how wonderful you're sitting in your chair. I love how kind you're playing with your toys and sharing with your friend or sharing with your sibling, sister or brother. I love how softly you're talking. Something beautiful. Share. Don't share a negative word. Don't do this, don't do that. Stay in your seat. That's not helpful. That's reinforcing negativity. Reinforce the positive. I love how creative you're being with your project. I love how wonderful you're reading. I love how great and so much effort that you're putting into your work. Positive. I love how amazing you are. And all these small things go a long way. I remember seeing a little girl walking, and I told her, I love how kind you are sharing your toy. And she smiled at me and she looked at me and she's like she had never received a praise in her life. And how she was so surprised and received it with so much love. So even as adults, we need praise. Adults need praise. Adults need love. And it doesn't cost anything. It's not going to hurt you or harm you. So love and praise others. Praise children. And let the negativity aside. We always put more energy into negativity because sometimes the negativity hurts us, right? Pain is painful. Pain makes us suffer. So when we suffer, it stings. So that's why we recollect that memory easily compared to something that is a joyful moment. Joyful moments are amazing. We experience it, we feel good. But the painful are more hurtful to us, so we hold on to that, and it's a negative cycle. So let us include that positive energy in our life, reinforce positivity, reinforce positive thinking, and praise the children, praise the adults, even praising the elderly. So beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you for being so kind and explaining this to me. Thank you for being so patient and helping me understand this. Examples, right? So think about this. You are sacred. Everyone is sacred. Everyone needs love. Everyone needs kindness. We need more kindness in the world. There's a lot of pain and suffering, and this pain and suffering is there because people cling on to this negative thought pattern. So let us love more, give more, and be present more. Love yourself, honor yourself, take care of yourself so that you can also share the love and give love and come from a good space. Calm, peaceful, self-regulated space. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. Hari Om.